On a cold December evening, when the ground was covered with a thick layer of snow and the wind shrieked through the city streets, a mysterious event began in an old mansion forgotten by time. This house, which stood on the outskirts of the town, had always caused confusion and unease among the locals. The protagonist of our story, Sarah, was a young woman with an unyielding curiosity for mysteries and riddles. She decided to spend the night in a mysterious mansion to unravel the mystical rumors that shrouded the place. She took a few friends with her, Tom, her plucky brother, and Alice, her best friend. All three were fascinated by horror stories and ready to face the unknown. They armed themselves with flashlights, cameras, and the hope of an exciting adventure. As they crossed the threshold of the mansion, the air seemed saturated with energy, as if the building itself was breathing. Their footsteps sounded deafening on the ancient wooden floors, and the light from the lanterns created eerie shadows that wriggled around them. The first few hours passed quietly. The friends explored forgotten rooms, old furniture pieces, and even found a few dusty photographs of people they had never heard of. Time seemed to slow down, and they were beginning to doubt the veracity of the local legends. But when the clock struck midnight, everything changed. The walls of the mansion seemed to come alive, radiating an ancient energy. They heard whispering, something vague and indistinct, yet so strange and ominous. The wind outside the window howled like a pack of wild beasts, and the darkness grew thicker like an ominous cover. Sarah suggested that everyone gather in one of the rooms and spend the rest of the night there. Noticing an old door in the basement that they hadn't noticed before, they decided to explore this gloomy corner of the mansion. The basement appeared old and neglected, filled with cobwebs and dust. The faint light from the lanterns barely illuminated the long hallways where shadows wriggled, giving the illusion of movement. As they traveled deeper, strange lights began to flicker ahead, like the ghosts of old candles. As they passed ancient wooden crates and mold-covered furniture pieces, they heard a faint cry. The sound was faint, yet piercing, as if someone was in real pain. They followed the sound and found a closed door, from underneath which came a dim light. Once inside the room, they saw an old bed on which lay a girl in a dusty dress, holding an antique doll. Her eyes were empty, as if her soul had left her body. She didn't react to anyone approaching. Sarah, sensing something strange, looked up and saw that the doll's eyes were directed at them. Those eyes looking into the eyes of every member of the group seemed to be the eyes of darkness itself. The next moment the wind howled with an inhuman shriek and the lights went out. When the lanterns were turned back on, the girl and her doll were gone. The only things left in the room were cooled breath marks and the flickering remains of a candle. They rushed in a panic upwards, away from the dark basement, meeting only gloomy walls and sounds, as if the house whispered goodbye to them. Once outside, they found